Parisian-inspired small apartment decor with neutral palettes and vintage art. Welcome to a quiet little world of Parisian cozy elegance, where small spaces are transformed into beautiful, intimate homes filled with warmth and timeless charm. In today's journey, we'll explore a narrow Parisian apartment styled with soft, neutral palettes, vintage furniture, and romantic vintage art. Step into a living room where Parisian elegance feels effortless, intimate, and wonderfully calm. The walls are dressed in warm ivory, creating a soft background for vintage artwork in delicate antique frames. A graceful vintage linen sofa becomes the heart of the room, paired with a small carved wood coffee table that adds character without overwhelming the narrow proportions. The entryway introduces the home with quiet sophistication. A narrow vintage console table in aged wood fits naturally against the wall, providing just enough space for a small antique vase and a delicate framed artwork. Above it, a vintage gilded mirror reflects light throughout the apartment, creating an airy feeling in the compact passage. The bedroom becomes a peaceful retreat wrapped in creamy neutrals and timeless vintage character. A vintage upholstered bed with a gently curved headboard creates an elegant focal point without taking too much visual space. Soft ivory bedding is layered with beige linen and subtle taupe cushions, keeping the atmosphere restful and refined. Above the bed, a delicate vintage painting adds personality without disturbing the serene palette. small dining area can feel wonderfully grand when its details are thoughtfully composed. A vintage round wooden dining table creates an intimate setting while making movement through the apartment easier. Around it, elegant vintage chairs with curved wooden frames bring a sense of French craftsmanship. A small antique painting hangs nearby, introducing muted shades of cream, brown, and faded gold. The kitchen embraces simplicity with an elegant vintage spirit. Cream cabinetry provides a soft foundation, while aged brass handles add subtle warmth. A compact vintage wooden table can serve as both a breakfast spot and a charming preparation surface. Beside it, two vintage cafe-style chairs create a delicate Parisian moment without taking up unnecessary room. A tiny reading corner can become one of the most enchanting spaces in the apartment. A vintage armchair upholstered in soft beige fabric sits beside a petite carved wood side table. A classic brass reading lamp provides a warm pool of light, while a small framed vintage artwork hangs above the chair. The bathroom carries the same understated Parisian elegance through soft stone, ivory, and warm beige tones. A vintage-inspired wooden vanity provides character while maintaining a refined silhouette suitable for a narrow room. An antique-style mirror with a delicate aged frame reflects the light and adds a sense of depth. A small vintage artwork, protected appropriately from moisture, introduces an unexpected artistic touch. The work area remains elegant and visually quiet, making it easy to concentrate. A slim vintage writing desk in warm wood fits neatly along one wall, accompanied by a vintage upholstered chair with a graceful curved back. Above the desk, a small collection of vintage art creates an understated gallery moment. The artwork uses muted cream, sepia, dusty gray, and faded beige tones, maintaining harmony with the rest of the apartment. The lounge celebrates the beauty of vintage furniture through soft shapes and natural textures. A petite vintage settee in cream linen rests against a neutral wall, while a small antique wooden table provides a place for a teacup or a favorite book. Above the seating, a collection of vintage art in mismatched but harmonious frames creates an intimate gallery wall. The dressing area feels delicate and timeless, built around a beautifully preserved vintage wardrobe with softly aged wood. A small vintage dressing table sits nearby, accompanied by an elegant upholstered stool. Above the table, a petite antique mirror adds reflection and visual depth. Neutral textiles in ivory, oatmeal, and soft beige keep the area peaceful, while a framed vintage botanical artwork introduces subtle color. Morning light gives the breakfast nook a gentle Parisian glow. A small vintage bistro-style table in aged wood provides an intimate place for coffee and breakfast, accompanied by two vintage chairs with graceful curved backs. The wall behind the table features a single vintage painting, creating a simple artistic focal point. Cream-colored walls and linen curtains keep the area bright and open. The hallway becomes an elegant transition between rooms through simplicity and proportion. A slim vintage console hugs one wall, leaving generous walking space while providing a place for a small antique vase and a framed artwork. Above it, a tall vintage mirror reflects light and visually lengthens the corridor. The walls are painted in a warm neutral shade, creating continuity throughout the apartment. This intimate sitting area combines comfort with refined vintage character. A compact vintage love seat upholstered in warm ivory creates a soft focal point, while a carved wooden side table offers a small surface for books or flowers. A vintage landscape painting hangs above the sofa in a softly aged frame. Neutral walls provide a calm backdrop, while linen cushions add subtle layers of texture. A narrow wall becomes a quiet celebration of French artistic heritage through a curated arrangement of vintage artwork. Small landscapes, botanical prints, portraits, and delicate sketches are placed in antique gold, wood, and cream frames. The surrounding furniture remains simple, allowing the artwork to become the star. Beneath the collection, a slim vintage bench provides a graceful seating option without consuming valuable floor space. When the living and dining areas share one compact room, visual harmony becomes essential. A vintage linen sofa anchors the living side, while a small round vintage dining table defines the opposite end. Both areas share warm ivory, beige, and muted taupe tones, creating a seamless transition. Vintage artwork is positioned strategically on the walls to connect the two zones. quiet bedroom corner can become a luxurious moment through texture and vintage craftsmanship. Beside the bed, a small antique nightstand provides just enough space for a brass lamp and a delicate framed artwork. The vintage furniture has softly worn wood that contrasts beautifully with creamy linen bedding. A small coffee corner adds an especially charming touch to the apartment. A petite vintage wooden table sits beside a graceful vintage chair, creating a personal place for morning coffee or an afternoon pause. Above it, a tiny antique painting brings a hint of history to the wall. The palette stays beautifully neutral with cream, warm gray, beige, and natural wood. As evening arrives, the neutral apartment takes on a softer and more romantic character. Vintage brass lamps illuminate the aged wood of the furniture, while framed artwork appears warmer against the ivory walls. A vintage sofa covered in textured linen becomes the perfect place to relax, accompanied by a small antique coffee table. Soft curtains close gently over the windows, creating privacy while maintaining the room's elegant simplicity. The bedroom is designed as a serene retreat where vintage furniture and neutral colors create effortless elegance. A beautifully curved vintage bed frame provides architectural character, while soft cream bedding keeps the atmosphere light. A pair of petite antique bedside tables adds symmetry without taking up excessive space. Above one side of the bed, a vintage portrait introduces a subtle artistic presence. The entire apartment comes together through a thoughtful balance of vintage furniture, neutral colors, and timeless artwork. Ivory walls allow every room to feel connected, while shades of beige, taupe, cream, and warm gray create a peaceful visual rhythm. Vintage sofas, antique tables, curved wooden chairs, upholstered beds, and petite consoles bring history and craftsmanship into the home.